You love bourbon. You love balls. Now put your balls where your bourbon is. Whiskey with Friends presents Bourbon and Balls with your hosts, Vinny, Colby, Anthony, and Aaron.
All right, and stop the video on the side from playing. Take off the no, the bottom one.
This, like that.
Hit the big bar that says "hide from thing." Sorry, guys, we're trying to figure out how to do an intro here. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Bourbon and Balls. I'm Vinny. I'm here with Anthony, Colby, and sometimes Aaron. And today we're going to talk a little football and have a little bourbon. If it's your first show, welcome. Please make sure to like and subscribe. If you're a returning customer, then we lied about your free refund, and thanks for coming back.
Appreciate it.
There you go.
So what do we have on tap here today, Vinny?
Well, today we're drinking. Anthony, Anthony, why don't
You tell us about it, Anthony.
Yeah.
You tell us about it. You brought it
You
over.
brought it to the table.
Well, I see Dana White running around a lot with this bourbon. Vinny breaking shit. Dana White likes to run around with this bourbon, big sponsor of the UFC. So I figured, you know what, let's change it up a little bit with these higher end bourbons that we've been trying. So we'll try the bourbon with the big ape on the front of it.
All right. So our big ape brought us a bourbon with a big ape on it. So it's Howler Head. It's a little lighter than what we normally drink. It's 80 proof and
It's banana flavored.
banana
Oh.
flavored.
I will
Yeah.
say this: we have a bottle
why you
that
got
you
it.
heard a minute ago of Angel's Envy on the ground, just in case.
We have a
this tastes like
backup.
shit.
Yeah, we have
So
a backup.
We got a
I-
backup.
Oh, so a lot of people. Oh my goodness! I can smell the banana.
That's all I want. That's all I want.
So a lot of people say that Jack Daniel's is banana
It kind of
flavored.
does smell a little Jack
This
Daniels.
is like a bad now and later banana now and
Dude,
later
no,
that
that-
someone put in whiskey. This is not going to be good.
Maybe
I feel like my parents trying to give me like cough syrup right now as a child.
Maybe we'll do a review of this
Night.
just for laughs.
Shits and giggles.
All right, let's see. Oh yeah, you get hints of
I
nothing
can't
but
even
banana.
smell it without wanting to.
You only get banana.
Mm-hmm.
This is like
Literally nothing
Okay.
else.
It's so they only make this banana flavor. They don't make like
That's it. This is their
bourbon
only-
flavored bourbon.
That's it. That's it. That's what they're.
It's a monkey spirit.
It's from Charleston, South Carolina. All right, well, let's give it a shot.
Do they even have bananas in Charleston, South Carolina? Like they grow on trees?
do they have
Or
monkeys there?
what? Do they?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. It's not that bad.
It's not bad.
It doesn't taste as banana-y as
Very
it smells.
sweet.
It's very sweet. Too
Very
sweet.
sweet.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
I
That'd
could.
be
Very
good. That'd be
sweet.
good. Like in a do like something weird like a pina colada, like a whiskey pina colada. Or
I
something
like that, Colby. I like where your head is.
Me too. Me too.
I
All
mean,
right.
but I don't need Coke with that.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I'll drink that.
You
Ah, the soda pop though.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you need an insulin shot with it. All right.
Wow.
So, if you're familiar with the show, we start drinking. We usually finish the bottle, although we're probably going to switch to Angel's Envy in a
I
second
get
here.
hammered.
We'll finish that bottle instead.
Yeah.
That's guaranteed.
Yeah, and we talk a little football. We have a button in the middle here. You can probably see it behind this clutter. The button is to call out our amigos here. So if somebody says something that's just
Outlandish.
stupid, outlandish, absurd, you have an opportunity to challenge them on their point. You hit the button, you both make your argument, and the other two people decide the winner. The loser finishes their drink. That's all, pretty much all of the drinking aspects of the show. The rest of it is football. We'll start with some football news. Today we're going to cover the Supreme Court's decision on the name, image, and likeness for the NCAA. We're going to cover joint practices that are coming back this year, and we're going to cover Demaryius Thomas retirement, and then we're going to get into some fantasy stuff. We're going to do, we each pulled our rankings for our top 20 quarterbacks, and we're going to highlight some of our differences and just, have some good old-fashioned
Back and forth.
gentleman type
Yeah.
discussions on it. Yeah. All right. So let's start with the NCAA thing. So this has been going on for a few years now.
I'd say longer than that. I mean,
Yeah.
since
The whole
NCAA
thing,
football,
the
Yeah.
lawsuit,
yeah,
the lawsuit has been
lawsuit,
going on
yeah.
for a couple of years now. Yeah. The issue is that college players can't make anything. They're limited. The NCAA limits schools to the number of scholarships that they can give, and that is the only compensation they're allowed to give. They're not allowed to make a penny any other way while they're playing college football. We've seen players get in trouble for it, suspended, all sorts of things. So there's been a lawsuit the last couple of years. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and just recently the Supreme Court ruled that, in fact, that's an antitrust issue. So starting immediately, and some states proactively already allowed their schools to start doing it. It's pretty narrow, though. You're only allowed to compensate in educational expenses. So while that's a little vague, you can't pay to play. This isn't like we'll give you 50 grand if you come play for us. But with that being said, there were 9 states that have already passed a law to do it. I don't know all 9 off the top of my head, but I know Florida's one. So why don't we start at the college level? So how do we feel about the ruling, and what do you think it means for college football? I'll start with you, Cole.
I personally love it. I'm a big college football guy, and these guys deserve to get paid. These schools are making an absurd amount of money off these kids, and they deserve to get paid for it. I mean, you have guys like Trevor Lawrence at Clemson. I mean, he brought that school and that town so much fucking money over the years. And the fact that that quarterback, if he was still playing for Clemson, could make money off of sponsors, I know, like educational, but that's going to be the part where they will have to probably fight with these next few years, I'm imagining, because you're going to see some people overstep their boundaries a little bit.
Get your phone off the table. It's distracting me.
Okay. Take a drink.
But yeah, no, I love it. I personally love it. I think it's awesome that these guys are gonna get a little coin for the money they bring.
And
these
I
schools.
think one thing too
It's
is
still not enough.
you might get some of these kids that might stay a little longer in college because of it.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. There's guys that come out too early because they want to make the money. They want to make more. And maybe this is going to give them an opportunity to stick around for a year.
I think you'll see a lot of the lesser, like the guys on these schools that are coming out where they're a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick are going to stay an extra year. I mean, because usually those guys, if you're a quarterback that's getting drafted towards the tail end of the round out of a smaller school, you last a year or two if you're lucky out trying to practice squads. Like, why not?
Well, and even if I think it also just opens the door for branding in general.
Yeah.
Like if you think about TB12, like TB12 didn't come into play until obviously Tom Brady was years into his thing. But if you look at someone like Trevor Lawrence, like everyone in the world knew Trevor Lawrence was going to be the first overall pick 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So he had 2 years to work with like a marketing firm and a PR firm and start to put a plan together for his branding and his, whatever. Maybe it's nutrition. Maybe it's some sort of academy that he does for throwing.
He's got a lot.
Maybe he and Troy Polamalu start some conditioner commercials. Like it could be anything like that. But yeah, there's definitely a real opportunity because in the NFL it's different. You can't just make unlimited money off of your own likeness there either. You do get a portion of all of your sales, but it's convoluted. It seems like this college route is a much easier route to make money off of your own personal brand.
Well, also, I mean, this dates back even further than what we know, and not even just within football. Like, look at the Fab Five, from Michigan, and like they all great athletes, and then Michigan, pretty much milked them for everything they were worth. Had them go play overseas and stuff, and those kids didn't see a dime of that money. That like
also these players that were on the cover of NCAA football.
Finish his fucking.
That's all right. I've been quiet for the past 10 minutes.
I mean,
go ahead.
Last week,
clearly, you have.
That's true. All right, guys. He was quiet. He was pretty quiet last week. So,
but yeah, I mean, that's kind of just my take on it. It's these colleges make so much money off these kids.
Yeah.
And and their careers are,
So we're all in agreement. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for the schools. It's a good thing, especially for the students. I don't know what the percentage is, but the percentage of college athletes that actually make a penny in the NFL is very, very small.
So small.
And then even from there, the number that make more than 1 year of league minimum is a fraction of a fraction. So if you're opening the door for these kids, even if it's even if it's just like free room and board, free meals, free rides, like just like, listen, you won't have to pay a penny for 4 years. We'll get you your degree.
Yeah.
Like that's great,
I mean,
man. That's
But
great for
if you
these kids.
look at the other side, though. I mean, I did. You got to look at the other side too. The guys that are going to be making this money.
You're gonna sound like a real piece of shit.
I'm
here.
saying
you
the
are.
guys that are going to be making. No,
Just
I'm
let him
saying,
talk. Let him
what I'm
talk.
saying is the guys that are going to be making this money, right, are the guys that are going to be making the money in the NFL. Because
That's a good point.
let's be real, the guys that aren't making the NFL and playing practice squad, 5th, 6th, 7th round, they're not getting endorsements in college.
There's exceptions to
yeah.
that, but you're right. You're right.
Unless it's the
You'll
whole
have,
team.
Well,
or
you'll
the
have a
whole-
guy like if Tim Tebow could have done it back in the day, he would have been making
True.
Yeah.
stupid money. That's like there's the exception.
There is exceptions,
The Trevor
but you're
Lawrence,
right.
yeah.
You're right.
I mean, very rarely are you going to see a guy get blown up in college football and then get drafted 7th overall.
I mean, there are plenty of like Heisman Trophy winners
Has
that
happened,
went
yeah.
like one season in the NFL and they were done.
Oh yeah,
But once
they
you're in
went-
the NFL,
yeah,
It doesn't matter. You
Yeah, it's
signed that
irrelevant
contract.
anyway,
You
right,
made,
it's irrelevant
you've
anyway.
made that money.
yeah. All right. So we mentioned the fact that it might keep students one more year in their school. They might not become eligible early. Maybe they won't go overseas and play for a year. Are there any other implications, do you think, for the NFL, or do you think
I
that's
think health-wise, I think the colleges would be more inclined to make sure their players are safer and healthier when they're playing instead of playing with injuries if they're having to take care of more of the financial aspects. Of
But
the
is
Well,
it
the
students.
thing
colleges
is, though,
that
the
I don't think
colleges
aren't
don't have
paying?
to. These could be local sponsorships.
I guess
Like,
yeah.
they
the
could be like a
colleges
car
aren't paying,
dealership
it's
can be like,
the-
hey,
yeah.
Trevor Lawrence,
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Never.
we want to put your face on our billboard. I'm going to pay you $25,000 this year to put your face on a billboard.
Shit, the-
no?
And you could put it towards education. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the loophole. This is
Yeah.
gonna evolve over the
They're gonna
next
say, "Well,
probably
pay
few
your
years.
rent." It's like, well, 6 other
Yeah.
companies are paying my rent
That's
too.
the
Let's
thing,
do it.
though, is that's what's going to happen. Is kids are going to make money off of this. It's not going to go towards all educational purposes.
No.
They might have like a separate bank account or something
Yeah.
that they say is like for school, but
Yeah.
it doesn't need a BMW to go back and forth to school when he lives
Listen.
on fucking campus.
I mean, no
When
one
it
does,
comes
but
down
that
to
doesn't stop
these-
someone from getting
If
a
you think
BMW.
some of these kids aren't getting paid somehow,
Yeah.
Oh, they
or
are.
their parents aren't
They
getting paid somehow, I mean,
There's
who
been
was it- who
money
was it
under
that
the
someone
table.
just
Reggie
came
Bush
out.
is like
Reggie
the
Bush,
biggest
Adrian
one.
Peterson.
I mean,
like-
Saquon Barkley.
Johnny
Yeah.
Manziel just came out and said how much money he was getting
Yeah.
paid by.
Well,
So,
I don't think anyone
one more
was surprised
college-
on Johnny
Yeah.
Manziel, not
How
that-
much
not-
free booze he got?
Yeah.
One more college question. Last college question. I should ask this one earlier, but how do you think it affects recruiting? So right now, the schools that get you NFL ready are the best recruiters, right?
Yeah.
Like you go to a school that's going to give you a best chance to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
That means you have to be the starter, and if you run an NFL type system, like that's why why these big schools do so well.
I mean, it's
So how do you think this changes?
it's 100% going to give the school, the Power 5 school, the big schools, more recruit advantage because if you're going to get a sponsorship, you're not going to get a sponsorship on St. Williams and Mary's.
I disagree.
I mean,
on.
I can see what both of you are saying, but what's the
Where are you gonna get
incentive for
more-
big schools? Like it's they're writing on their names as
But
is.
they're
If you're a
saying-
smaller unknown school, wouldn't you be inclined to listen?
Yeah.
Let's just let these
yeah.
kids get as much money as they want. They can come
You're
play
telling
here.
me FGCU, if they have some great player, that you're not going to see that kid's face
No,
all
but
over
why
Southwest
do
Florida now?
people give sponsorships, right? To get their name out there.
Yeah.
Their name's going to get out there with a player that's
Michigan is not sponsoring the school.
No. I'm saying that whoever sponsored, it's saying that they can get sponsorship money from outside, not the school,
For their school expenses,
for
right?
their school expenses.
So why does that help the big schools?
Because they're going to bring a better player.
They
Because
already
the
do that
player's
already.
going to. I'm just saying, but a player
I'm
that's
asking how it
considered.
affects recruiting. So I'm saying
I'm telling you.
you're committed to the school.
If you're not, if you know that you could get a sponsorship
Someone's
from
gonna hit the button. I
someone,
feel it.
no,
I kind of want to hit
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
the
debating
player
that
that's
right
gonna
now.
come
Are
in,
we like all
right?
three of us put our hands
Yeah,
on
they
the
know.
Can we
same-
unite as one?
no, but I'm telling you, you're going to go to a bigger school to get more notoriety.
I get what you're saying. If you're a superstar, right? So if you're Clemson, whose face do you want on that billboard if you're paying? Trevor Lawrence, or leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
So if you're a great running back, I'm not going to go to Clemson. They're not going to I'm not going to have my face all over billboards. I'm going to make way more money going to some other school where there isn't a bigger superstar than me, where I will get all of this.
But you're
money.
going to go to a school that has more notoriety.
I think that's always the case, right? That's how it has historically been in those big schools. I think how this changes recruiting is it levels the playing field a tiny bit. I think it
it's gonna
gives the
give smaller
second
schools,
best person on the team a higher percentage chance, not drastically, because at the end of the day, everybody's goal, if you're good, is still to make it to the NFL. But I think it gives a higher percentage chance that they will go to a secondary school if a sponsor knocks on their door and say, like, hey, I know you want to go to Michigan, but if instead you go to Wisconsin, you'll be set.
But that's what I'm
4
saying.
years.
It's still a bigger school.
Well,
It's still you're not going to go.
It's the NCAA.
I'm just saying but there's a lot of players now that are going to the smaller schools to be the best player on the team. I mean, it's happening in college.
Well, and I think that will
basketball,
still exist too.
College basketball is different because college basketball, you
Yeah.
have these teams that, I mean, I've never even heard of most of these schools that go to the tournament. And it's like, but I think with college football, it's not going to change recruiting a whole lot at the top level. The 5-star recruits are still going to go to Alabama. They're going to go to Georgia, Florida, Oregon, Texas. They're still going to those schools. They don't care. I mean, that's going to be the best shot for them to get the NFL. I think it's going to change the smaller schools. You're going to have the Vanderbilts, Tennessee used to be like a power school. Now they're not. You're going to have those kind of schools that are going to start creeping up, potentially be more competitive because they're going to start, like, these local places are going to start throwing their money at these guys.
I almost feel like we're going to see a lot more schools be like, Miami Hurricanes of the early 90s. Because those guys were definitely paid. They you know what I'm saying? There was so much talent on that team. There's no way.
One day it's going to come out.
Yeah.
Nike basically openly pays all the Oregon players.
But that's what I'm saying. I think with this, we're going to get a lot more teams that are going to be like, yo, let's get our squad together.
Yeah,
I think
it's more
it's up to the surrounding business.
No, it's up to schools. So
they
the
have to give the okay
NCAA
on
just today, the NCAA, they deferred to the school. They said make your own policies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if these big schools that you're saying are like, no, we're not going to fucking do that, then the little schools are going to be like,
I just think I think it would have a similar effect if you were to say there are unlimited scholarships, which is essentially what this is. Right?
This is not actually paying players. It's paying for their books.
Right. So my point is, think of it like
this. Why would a
this.
school say no?
So think of it like this. It's unlimited scholarships. That's basically what the change is, right? Now, anyone can pay your entire tuition. It's basically unlimited scholarships. So my point is, I think now that there's so much more money on the table, now instead of every team, I don't know how many scholarships they have, but now instead of every team having 20 scholarships, now they have 75 scholarships.
Yeah.
Like there's not a single person on a college team that is going to pay for their tuition going forward.
I don't see
that's
one
why
school
I think,
that's going to say no.
Right, and that's why I think that there's going to be more like.
I think you can see like it's going to get rolled into like clothes. It's going to get rolled into jewelry. It's going to get rolled into like you're going to have the best like computer. The best
cell phone.
We're going to. I mean,
definitely.
They're not going to have extra money in their pockets. Probably
loose. They might have a little, but
I'm sure they. I mean,
or they're going to buy them this stuff and then they're going to turn around and sell it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's going to be.
So we spent a lot of time in this. The consensus is it's good for it's good for college. It's great for the players. They've been screwed for a long time. It doesn't help the ones that already left, which is unfortunate. But hopefully going forward, it's a better environment. Let's keep going through the news because I want to definitely save some time for the fantasy stuff. Yep. So next on the list is the joint practices are back. So far, the Dolphins are doing joint practices with the Falcons and Bears. The Giants are going with the Browns and the Patriots. The Panthers are joint practicing with the Colts and the Ravens. So typically with joint practices, you're practicing together the week of your preseason game, and then you have a preseason game. That's typically how it works. We didn't have it last year. There's no joint practices, no practices, anything like that. So my question is, I'm assuming everybody's happy that joint practices are back.
Oh, yeah.
So my question first, I'll start with you, Aaron. Who is it position-wise or coach or whatever, but not player, but association with the team, who is it the most beneficial for?
I mean, I'll give a biased opinion because our teams are practicing. And I don't know if you know this, but Brian Flores is a second half coach. Great at adjustments. Matt Nagy, not so much.
Is he a first half coach?
No, I wouldn't even say. So I'm kind of hoping that Brian Flores is
breathes it all in.
Yeah, I kind of hope Nagy just through osmosis just soaks it in. That's we changed the plays of the second half of the game. Like, I'm kind of hoping that, like, lightning strikes And he's like, all right, okay, cool. This is a coach that knows how to game plan, that can adjust game planning. Maybe I should do a little self-reflection. And
For your sake, I hope that's true.
I hope so.
I don't think it would be the case.
I
What
mean,
do you
I
think?
hate to
Who's
break
the
it
most
to you, but you
impactful?
had Andy
I mean,
Reid
I
above him
personally
for a
think
while.
you have the quarterbacks on their team that get to see, like for you, rookie quarterback that's never seen an NFL.
It doesn't
defense
matter if
before.
it's agnostic of their year.
I think quarterbacks. I mean, I 100%. I think
Oh, yes,
quarterbacks.
You get to watch the
You
corners.
get to watch
get to-
everything. You get to see what defenses are doing. I mean, obviously they're not going to be playing the defense they're playing. I mean, but somewhat similar.
Yeah.
But you got your rookie quarterback, and he's going to come in there. They're going to throw him in a rookie practice, and he's going to see something he's never seen. Because I don't care what anybody says. You might run an NFL defense in college. It looks nothing like the defense they run in the NFL.
Yeah, and that's
So if you want him to start sooner than later, I think these are going to help out. He's going to see defenses sooner and be like, holy shit, what did I get myself into?
I think collectively offenses, specifically offensive lines.
Well, you can say the same thing about defense.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, collectively, yes, it helps the whole team out. But I think when you have question marks, when you have rookies that are going to be coming in and starting, when you have an offensive line that has question marks on it, you would hope that those are the guys or players that can benefit from these practices.
Yeah, but your defense and offensive lines aren't going 100%.
I'm speaking
They're just
in general.
Colby, you have a different opinion on who it's the most impactful for?
I'm gonna say cornerbacks
Corners?
because you're looking at the same receiver through the whole summer. You're lining up against this guy 1,000 times probably. Then you finally, like Xavier Howard against Devontae Parker, probably gets pretty fucking old after a while. Now Xavier Howard
the
gets
ones
to practice
to play
against
against
Allen
the
Robinson.
like the ones don't go against the ones though.
Sure they do.
of course every practice.
In regular practice,
Yeah, like-
they don't. In
like
joint
7 on
practices, they
7s,
do.
yeah. And then like you get Xavier Howard gets cover Allen Robinson, and like so it's just like a nice change of pace. You're not going against the same guy every day, so I think it helps the quarterbacks out, and then obviously your offensive lineman. I think it helps out a lot. You're not seeing the same stunts, the same shit from the guys.
Thanks,
across
Colby, for
from you.
agreeing with me.
Yeah, I was going to say wide receivers, same concept as the corner.
That was good. That was
And
my
it's
number
the
3 on the list.
physicality piece of it, right? Like no matter how much film you watch, until you feel that person pushing you at the line, until you see how they react to your cut, like you're not really going to appreciate like what you need to do until you do it. So for me, it's the wide receiver, the cornerback.
You're
So
probably
my
going
next-
to go.
my
Probably going
next-
to go a little harder against a team that isn't your team than.
Oh, that's why
Oh,
there's fights in
100%.
every
Yeah.
practice. There's always brawls. That's the best
So-
part about them.
So my next point for this, and this is why I disagreed with your point of coaches initially, was like, what do you think from a strategic / play calling perspective? What percentage, I guess, if we had to put a number to it, what percentage
2%.
is realistic?
2%, if that.
Yeah.
They're not calling the plays or
It's
calling the
vanilla
games.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
think they're
it
calling.
is.
I don't think
Yeah,
they're calling a
it's-
single
they're
play
not.
that is in their
It's-
actual play.
I mean,
book.
honestly, I think Nagy's just going to call it like he calls it every Sunday. But that's
I personally think it's just to get them in.
we got a
Try to get
couple
them
bubble
in the game
screens.
shape, trying to get them out there and go 100%. These guys want to beat the other teams. They're not. You watch practices when they're in the game and practicing with each other. They're laughing, they're joking, they're they go hard, but it's not full bore. You see some of these joint practices, they're fighting. Halfway through practice, they're throwing punches.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah.
I've been cut short for fighting.
And
That's what you
because
want, though.
You go
You want
hard.
that.
I mean, you don't do that in your practice with your joint team.
No,
Yeah,
No.
most of them.
Majority of the
Who
time.
got fucking cut from the Ravens last year for doing
I was
that?
going to
Oh,
say,
Like, punched his own teammate in the face.
Yeah, he played with the Seahawks.
Yeah, yeah,
Earl
yeah.
Thomas.
Earl
I was going to say
Thomas.
Martellus
Thomas.
Bennett body slammed Kyle
Yeah.
Fuller one
Yeah.
year.
Oh,
Earl
yeah.
Thomas.
Sounds like Martellus.
All
It's
right,
very
so
Very in character.
my last question, which we already answered a few times here, was how hard do you think players go? You think they go harder than they do in regular practice? I think the aggression builds up, but I think the speed is probably still quite a bit
yeah.
slower
It's just
in real life.
competitive.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's like
I think
that's-
it's low though.
You think
Like
it's a
game
low
speed versus
competitive?
joint practice speed. I
Oh,
bet
yeah,
it's
this-
No,
I bet
I'm
it's
not
70.
counting that.
I
I'm
bet it's
counting
70%.
right. I'm counting team practice
But
versus joint practice.
I think they do
Yeah.
things. in these
that's the
joint
way I'm looking at
They
it.
also do things in these joint practices they're not going to do in a game because
Yeah.
who gives a shit if you get a 15-yard penalty for punching someone in the face? Or it's
No,
just-
I
I'm not. I'm
disagree.
just saying
I
that, but
disagree
like,
with that.
I'm just saying you're not
I
when
think
you're
you
going up
gotta
against
hit.
the guy. If you're gonna like, you might jam him. You might go.
First of all, they bring refs to those.
Yeah.
There are refs in those.
But you're not getting a fine. And I mean,
Yeah,
majority
you
of
are.
the
You're
time-
getting
No,
fined.
no.
Listen.
I mean, yeah, you could.
You could, but
body
it's
slam,
not.
dude.
It's not like a game. It's not like
I
you
get
can
what
probably
you're
get
saying, but I
away.
think there's way more camaraderie.
Yeah,
in
but
those
you can
joint
get away
practices
with
than
a
there is
little bit
aggression.
more in
I
those
think
joint
people get
practices.
pissed off, but I
Yeah.
think 95% of it. I think 95% of the NFL, not during game time, are all buddies. I think
Oh, yeah.
everybody's like they're all cool with each other.
So
All
who's
buddies.
in that 5%? We need to have an episode of that
And
5%
Dominican
that just
Sue.
hate each other.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
The Jaguar.
That longtime Redskins corner. That was
Oh,
a real,
D'Angelo.
yeah,
Yeah.
D'Angelo.
Him and
Cortland
DeAndre
Finnegan.
Hopkins.
Well, yeah.
That
Yeah.
guy's a guy. That's one of my favorite moments. Andre Johnson just laying out on him.
Yeah.
It's one of my
It was
favorites.
always quiet in that
He was briefly a Dolphin. All right. Our last
Yay.
news thing is Demaryius Thomas. So
He's a Bronco. Fuck him. Move on to the next topic.
this surprised me when I did the research. All right.
He's
So
good.
I'm going to
He's
pose
good.
this question. Is Demaryius Thomas a Hall of Fame wide receiver? I'm going to start with Colby on this one.
I mean, I wouldn't be.
Wait. Let me read the stats.
No, I know his stats. He had.
I'm going to read them anyway.
He had a very good 4 or 5. A very,
4 or 5 years.
Very
He is
good.
a Super Bowl champion, one-time Super Bowl champion. He is a 5-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time All-Pro. He has 724 catches, 9,762 yards, and 63 touchdowns. For the Broncos, he's the second all-time in receiving yards and touchdowns, third in receptions.
If that's the Super Bowl I'm thinking of, that Broncos offense was not the champion. That was the defense.
The
and that was
defense.
the
Yeah, it
coach
was
of
the
Peyton
defense.
Manning.
You're right.
So,
And that was
still,
the Super Bowl.
yeah, still he did win a Super Bowl. He's not a first ballot. If he does make it, he's like Jamal Charles in my opinion. He's a Hall of very good. He was very good for a 5-year stretch. I think he didn't miss a ton of games. I think like maybe early in his career, I think he missed some games, but
Good
I-
memory.
he-
I had to do the research.
That's in
I didn't
that's
know.
in division
I had
though.
to do
That's in his
research.
division.
His
so
first
no.
2 seasons, he didn't do anything.
Yeah, no.
And you didn't
he's-
hear about him when he first
Yeah.
started.
Yeah. First
And,
2
like,
seasons, he did nothing.
The crazy thing about him is he went
Oh,
from
boy.
being
You want the banana stuff?
No,
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 I don't want no.
You want a banana smoothie, or do you want some actual
Anthony,
bourbon?
thank you for ruining tonight. I appreciate it. Thanks for loving
He
Dana
doesn't even
White
know
so
what it
much.
tastes like.
Yeah.
His fucking cup has been full since we started this.
I actually did this for you because every time you show up, you get blacked out drunk and then get grounded when you get home.
That's-
Yeah, well, that's the best
So I'm
part.
trying to keep you
That's
from.
the
I'm
best
trying
part.
to keep you from
No,
drinking.
so
a
that's
little
like
bit.
weak though. So it's good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to keep you from
Angel's
drinking. a
Abbey is
little
good.
bit.
Actually, you got me this bottle too. So
Yeah, you can throw.
these are both courtesy of.
But like
Anthony.
Demaryius Thomas, so let's get back on subject here. Demaryius
Yeah.
Thomas is a very weird like enigma for me because he went from being very good to being on like getting traded to Texans halfway through the season and gone.
Yeah, well, so he played 10 years, right? 10 and
Sounds about right.
made the Pro Bowl 5 years out of the 10.
and was injured 2 of them.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like I mean,
I don't think he ever makes it. If he does make it, it's going to be a down year for like the ballot because you have those years
Yeah.
like every once in a while where it's like let's
Do you though?
let's get
Because they
somebody.
queue up for 10 straight years.
I
I get what you're saying. For new entries, you
Yeah.
have those down years, so people
I
get
don't know.
nominated that maybe don't deserve to. But
I don't think he will,
I
but
don't
there
think
is like an off chance that
so if he does,
might.
not
I
in the
don't-
next 5 years, next 15.
I don't
it
think
would-
it. I don't think
You
it
can
lasts
only
so
have
long.
so many years where you can get
Yeah.
elected.
Yeah, because
After
long
so
do you
many
have to wait?
years,
The window
after so
starts
many-
after 5 years,
Yeah.
and then I believe it lasts for 10.
That's what I was saying.
and
Like,
then you can
it
never
took
be.
Derek Thomas
What about all
like
these
8
guys
years
that-
to get in, and he's one of the best like pure
Who?
pass. Derek Thomas.
Hmm.
It took him like 8 years to get in, and he was like one of the best pure pass
To get into
rushers
the
NFL's ever
Hall of
seen.
Fame, you literally have to be someone that they know. I mean, this day and age, you have to know that player. You have to do something special in the NFL. And I mean, I don't think that, I
done
mean,
much in a while.
guys
I think
who are
that's what-
guys
I
like
don't-
us
I don't
who
think so.
guys like us who know football. You know, you talk about him, but someone who's not that big NFL savvy might not know who he is. You know, I really think you have to make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, back then, yeah,
So he's not a Hall of Famer. is that
I
what
don't
you're
think so. I think,
All right.
and that's true.
Yeah,
I
Hall
mean,
of
he
Famer.
played for 10 years.
I'm sorry.
You're an asshole.
You're making the same points as everybody else.
You
saying-
yeah, you're,
I wanna hear
you're,
different
you're,
points.
you're speaking in circles.
I want to hear different points.
You're not speaking at all. So.
Well, no, because unlike you, I don't recycle my own bullshit.
All right, let's go.
I will say,
You know what? I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
gonna
no.
say
too.
no.
I'm gonna say no too. So I think the issue for me is not the issue. Well, yeah, the issue with the entire system is that like it's very easy to say, and I was waiting to see if somebody said this and they didn't, but like the reality is his stats are better than a lot of Hall of Fame wide receivers. But it's like that's the problem is that the game has evolved so much that when you look at like the surroundings, like you almost have to look at the Hall of Fame of like how much better are you than average for your period of time?
Yeah.
And like that's the deciding factor.
you
Yeah,
can't,
that's
you
what I
can't
was-
take a
He was not-
receiver from
yeah.
the 70s and 80s and compare him to
That's-
somebody
yeah.
in like the late 90s.
That's what I was
No,
getting
yeah,
at. That,
yeah.
You know, that's what I was saying before.
It's not
There's
for
guys
you.
that you don't
Yeah,
know their name back then, but you put them in today's game and it's game over.
No, I disagree.
Do it. Yes.
I respectfully disagree.
You're
dumb
telling
piece
me.
of shit.
You're telling me
I love
that you
this.
take a guy
Well, now
from
we're
like the
finishing.
Playing rookie with me.
1950s.
I will even give you a name.
Is that
Pick,
you?
No, I
pick
wish
the
it was.
greatest Bills wide receiver in history that is
Stephon
more than
Diggs.
that is more than 15 years old, and make your argument using that.
He can't name him.
He
What do you mean?
You can't name
He's
it.
a
Andre Reed?
wide
Okay, Andre
receivers.
Reed. You're saying if you put Andre Reed in today's environment, he dominates?
No, I'm saying the guys back then, you put them in today's game and they're garbage. They're not as
Oh,
good as.
I retract
Yeah,
my
because
butt.
they're old men now, dude.
That's
would say
what I'm getting at. I mean,
all right. I
very- I mean,
retract my butt.
my-
I mean,
my
I
whole
could say
point-
it depends on position. If
Yeah,
you
it
have
does.
you have a
Wide
quarterback,
receiver.
I think
Said
there's some
wide receiver.
No, I think wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, like it takes a special. I'm not going to say all these wide receivers, but I think there's certain guys.
So,
back then that could come into
Certain,
this game.
very certain guys.
Yeah,
but
of course.
the fact is, an
Most of them, no.
average receiver today is faster, bigger,
Oh,
and
strong.
stronger,
Yes,
has
that's my-
better
that's my point.
hands,
100%.
understands the
Yeah,
game
No,
more.
100%.
In every
More
way,
athletic.
shape, and form,
Everyone's
they are
more
physically
athletic.
I
better.
mean, I could go back into
So-
the 70s and play wide receiver.
So
No problem.
speaking of what we're talking about,
Just saying.
I don't know if it's on the agenda, but Brandon Jacobs.
Did
Anyone
you
hear
not
about
read
that? Is that on there?
No. it's
No,
not.
go
well,
ahead.
his son.
Brand-
they're talking
Can
about
I
his
talk?
son.
No, it has nothing to do with his son,
They want
Anthony.
him to
Thank
play
you.
They want him to play defensive end.
Yeah, Brandon Jacobs,
Supposedly.
8 years retired, has supposedly has interest from multiple teams,
I call bullshit.
which I do too.
Yeah,
I think someone's like, oh yeah, we'll give it a tryout, and then
I
no one's going to get the guy a call.
some second-rate.
Yeah,
fucking-
If
He would look
Brandon
like dog
Jacob,
shit.
my thing is, if Brandon Jacob has to go out there and say this, no one's calling
Yeah.
him. He's trying to drum up
He's-
interest.
he's also-
Someone's going
he's
to.
the one
Yeah.
who
He's
said it?
also saying he's the
He's the one who
same.
said it.
He's running the same speed and same weight he was 8 years
I
ago.
mean, I believe that if he's
That's
working
because he
out.
ran
I mean,
a
he was
6'3".
never.
He was
yeah.
40.
He was a big dude.
He
Yeah,
wasn't
big
known
dude. He
for
was
it as a
never
speed
fast. He was
back.
a power back.
And he also said he's like, this is something I should have done instead of retiring. I should have just switched positions.
How old is he?
Well, he's
39.
39.
Get out of here with
Yeah.
that bullshit.
39.
Forget that crap.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see did you see T.O. show up at
Some Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
and
he
make
showed up at
those
the-
DBs look
and
like dog
embarrassed
shit.
a bunch of kids? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Seeing a 40-something-year-old T.O.
47
just
years old, but he still runs like a
embarrass
4.40.
college kids. That's pretty sweet.
It
Did
is.
you
No,
see
I-
how fast he
I
was
was
out
always a
there?
big
No,
T.O. fan.
It wasn't even his fat. His cuts were flawless.
It's cuts,
They
it's
were
route
still
running, it's
That's
flawless.
hands.
one.
Like,
That's
he doesn't
one
need
player
this.
that I think could possibly come into the league and still
It
make a
wouldn't
team.
surprise me. It wouldn't
Dude couldn't even make it in Canada, dude. Like,
Oh, stop it! Of course,
Oh,
he
His
can.
my
attitude is his biggest
Yeah,
problem. His
100%.
attitude is
Oh,
his
and that's what it
100%.
was.
problem.
It's his attitude.
Look at Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald is the most professional athlete that has ever existed
Was.
in sports ever. And that's why he has lasted. If he ran his mouth like all these other people, he would have been out of the league
yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm not
wouldn't go
disagreeing.
He's
that
great.
far.
He's great.
Yeah,
but
I
my
was gonna
point is,
say.
a lot of these guys that don't play anymore.
He
are
wouldn't have
great.
lasted these
Ocho
last 2 or 3
Cinco-
He
seasons.
also builds up the wide
Oh, yeah.
receiver.
Ocho
room,
Cinco
dude.
would have played for 5 more years if he kept his mouth shut.
Also, if
T.O.
he knew
would
how
have
to
played
read
for
the
5 more
play.
years if he kept his mouth shut. The dude from the Cowboys. Fuck.
Oh, you're talking. You're not talking about Michael Irvin, right?
No,
that's not.
Oh, Des Bryant.
Des Bryant. Des Bryant would have played for 5 more years if he just kept his mouth shut. Like most of
break
these
his leg when he
receivers.
shows up to camp.
Well, that was after he came. Oh,
That's a solid point right
there. And fake get COVID last year on the Ravens. But no, my point is like, it was his mouth that got him out of the NFL. People didn't want to deal with it anymore.
No.
All right, that's enough for news. We're a little over halfway through our show. Let's get to the fantasy stuff. So we all have our rankings here. We're not going to read through them, but I highlighted the biggest talking points. So where we were the most off and where we had the highest person that wasn't in anyone else's top 20. So we're going to start with your boy, last year's QB1, the best fantasy quarterback in football last year, Josh Allen. You have him number 1. Aaron and I have him number 3, and Colby has him number 4. So why don't you tell Colby why he is ridiculous for having him at number 4?
I don't know if we'll be able to hear him over the game.
First of all, he's coming back to a team that put up a ton of points, put up a ton of yards.
One season.
He has Stephon Diggs, who
There it is.
Stephon Diggs even said,
I think we got a drink for that, guys. we got a drink for that, guys. Says Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs
I've got
came and
I'm
said,
not gonna be able to drive
listen,
home after this.
A terrible drinking game.
he said we didn't even come together and start
the
really
AFC
working too
Championship
well
game.
until after later than halfway through the season.
When they started losing a bunch of games.
Yeah, well, get the fuck out of here.
Your points going
No.
pretty bad.
So
Someone hit the
now
button.
he has his number 1 receiver that he's in sync with. He has a second-year receiver in Gabriel Davis that is
Hall of Famer.
a Hall of Famer
Oh, yeah.
already.
I see it.
You know, I think the running game is going to be better for him.
Oh, it has been the past 5 years.
You know, the offensive line is getting better.
All
You know,
pros.
you're going to put more points up than you did last year, even though you were still number 1 last year.
I mean, 17 games. I hope they put.
Play to win.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they say.
All right. So, Colby, in front of Josh Allen, you have Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why Josh Allen will not beat those 3 people.
All right, I like Josh Allen. I do. I think.
I mean, you still have him as a top 4.
My thing with Josh Allen, he did it one season. I have a hard time putting him up above guys like,
Whoa.
lean back like that.
Whoa. What?
Patrick Mahomes is the safest fantasy quarterback. He may not be the number 1 guy every year, but he's going to finish top 2, top 3, top 4, whatever, every season until he probably
Guy's going to play
retires.
lights out.
Yeah.
He's going to play lights out.
Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, I'm not a big fan of them as a quarterback, but in the fantasy world,
You
Super athletic.
I like
I like
Kyler
Kyler Murray over
Don't
Lamar
Don't bunch
Jackson.
Kyler Murray and
God.
Lamar Jackson
listen to me.
together.
I'm putting Kyler Murray above Lamar Jackson all day.
But don't put him in the same fucking.
I got him 2 and 3. I got to put him in the same.
Jesus Christ.
I'm saying this. Kyler Murray's obviously got a better arm than Lamar Jackson, smarter than Lamar Jackson, better looking than Lamar Jackson,
Jeez.
shorter than Lamar Jackson. No, but they can run the ball. I mean, Josh Allen can run the ball. I'm not going to say he can't run the ball, but Lamar Jackson's offense is designed around him running 1,200 yards a season. He's going to get double-digit rushing touchdowns probably. He's going to throw 20, 25 touchdowns. And the offense is safe around him, not throwing a shit ton of picks. So in the fantasy world, it bodes well for him. Whether he this is just based off of what he's done in the past couple of years. He could go in and shit the bed, obviously. Kyler Murray is just a little bit better version of Lamar Jackson, better arm. I just already ranted off on all
Fuck
that.
you. What a stupid argument.
So-
Go fuck yourself. Anthony wins.
There is a bullshit button that no one's hit.
No.
I still got Kyler
All right.
Murray's my second best fantasy quarterback.
You said
That's
nothing
that's my
about
second
what
best.
I just said. I gave you
Everybody's second best.
Yeah.
Except for Anthony.
facts, and you just came in with
What,
All right,
Josh
so
Allen had one good year.
I have
Stephon Diggs.
so
now he's going to come in and be
I
the
have
best
Josh.
quarterback
Aaron and
of all
I have
time.
Josh Allen 3. I like Josh Allen. He
Yeah.
physically, he checks all the
A
boxes.
big body
Last
guy.
year,
with
yeah.
legs.
Last
An arm.
year, he was outstanding.
Yeah.
But I said this to you the entire season. You just stole my fucking
I
thunder
did.
by saying
And
it.
you're
But
welcome.
you've done it 1 year. But not only that, I genuinely believe, and this is not just me being a Dolphins fan, I believe that Josh Allen had a career year in 2020. And
He finally
He
had
could have
pieces.
been MVP. Like,
He
there's
finally had
absolutely an
talent.
argument where he would have
If
MVP.
he didn't fall
He
apart at the
will
end of the
never.
season,
He
he
will
would have
never
been
have
MVP.
another season
But
like he did.
look
in
what
2020.
okay. He
I agree
finally
with
had
No,
talent
I mean, I
around
I
him.
agree with that.
I can agree with that because Patrick Mahomes did the same thing. His first year, he came out through 50 touchdowns. He was just lights out. And the only reason he can
You
probably
don't think he could ever do that again?
Oh, he can.
now that
Oh, he
there's
can.
17 games in the
Yeah.
season,
No,
of course.
yeah,
no,
he
no,
can.
no. I'm.
But I'm saying, but look at the
ignore
talent.
the extra game.
But look
You're
at the
saying if
talent
there's only
around
16 games, you don't think he
Patrick
can get back there?
Mahomes. Look at the
He's-
talent
he's the-
around Patrick
good.
Mahomes.
There's plenty of talent on both teams.
That's my point. He finally has talent. The last couple
Anthony,
of
I'm
years,
gonna need you to calm
the
down,
Bills, the last couple.
I don't.
I
the
need
last
you to
couple of
calm down.
years.
Josh Allen's problem hasn't been talent the first 2 years in the league. His problem
mean-
was he couldn't fucking hit the wide side of a barn when you threw the football.
I mean, he
There's
also had
inconsistency.
he had
He was-
Kelvin Benjamin
No,
as
it
his
was
number one
inconsistency.
receiver, as his wide receiver.
How
one. Come
dare
on.
you? No.
Come
not
on.
His issue
Urge
was
Kelvin
consistency.
Benjamin.
his issue was
That's
accuracy.
fair.
100%
He also
accuracy.
had no
Act-
talent.
Stephon Diggs didn't come to the team and automatically make him more talented.
Yeah.
Or not more talented,
100%.
more
You
accurate.
make
All
make
right.
your quarterback better.
We both hate this example, but how many fucking years did Tom Brady dominate the league with guys who we didn't even know their
Jabronis.
name?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Randy Moss.
Sure.
Oh, the best wide
Oh
receiver
my
he's ever
God,
played.
And they lost the one Super Bowl he played.
Yeah.
They won
Get
every
outta
game
here.
before that,
They
and
still
he
lost
broke the record
Get out
for
of
They
here.
most
still lost the
touchdown
Super
passes.
Bowl. If
You're
you
an-
go back and
you're an
look at
asshole.
I'm
the
an
Super Bowls
asshole.
Tom
Yeah,
Brady
you're an
won
asshole.
with three
What was
receivers.
Tom Brady's best season ever?
Yeah, fine.
With
but that's
who?
not the point.
Who was his receiver?
That's not the point.
The point is, with
Hernandez
talent, you
was
play
alive.
better.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
in jail.
More
Yeah.
talent,
All
you
right.
play better.
Anyway, moving on to the next one. Josh Allen. I listen, on camera, I will make a significant bet with you that says Josh Allen, from a fantasy perspective, is not.
I say he finishes out of the top 5.
I think he finishes out of the top 3. I have him ranked as 3rd. I think he finishes
I say he
out of the
finishes out
top
of the top
3
5.
What are we putting that on that?
Yeah, what are you putting?
Yeah, let's do this.
Oh, I thought it was just you two. I was
he's
No,
stirring
a-
the pot.
don't throw that out there.
No.
Yeah. Come on.
I don't want to make these bets. You know I'm not good with bets.
Strikeout?
Don't do a strikeout. Will you do strikeout?
It's a strikeout.
Nah, he won't do a strikeout.
You won't do
It's a strikeout.
Strikeout.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
it's a dirty thing. You don't want to do it.
Who you're talking to?
A strikeout is a combination of drinking and smoking the marijuana all in one shot.
Yeah, don't do that.
See, that's why I said you wouldn't do it.
You
It's
wouldn't
all
do
right.
that.
It's okay.
It's just like
So
Something
we get
stupid
it.
like
You're
that.
high on Josh Allen.
Instead of shaving your head bald, you wax it.
No,
And
no,
then
no,
you too.
no, no,
You too.
no. The
I don't shave.
loser and all 3 of us. I'm happy to be in this. I think whoever's the furthest off on chest and back waxed in front of the other people. He said he's in.
Inside.
Have you seen this dude's chest? Will
Dude.
you show your
Dude,
chest? to
I've
the
seen
camera?
it. It's a sweater vest.
Will
This
you
man
show-
wears a
Yeah.
sweater
Will you
vest
show
under
the
a
camera
t-shirt.
what's
I don't
at
know.
stake
You
here?
two might
You
pull
don't
down
even
the
have to
line.
go belly up. Can you just like?
I
Can
mean,
you show
I'm-
them what's at stake
I don't
here?
care. I'm
YouTube will pull.
Oh my goodness!
Come
Oh
on.
God! Look at it in the camera. It's even worse.
God.
This is
I-
worse than the
listen,
camera.
and I'm willing to make this.
Why did your wife
This bet.
touch you?
It's not what
It's rubber gloves.
He's like,
in
she
there.
doesn't.
This hazmat suit.
She's like, "Oh, we're about to get weird," and then all you hear for the first time is like.
I mean, I do pretty questionable
Now,
things.
does she
which
vacuum
is-
you? Like, how does that
I
work?
mean-
She like just take like a little vacuum?
Are you asking if what does a vacuum do? Yes,
Oh,
she does.
All right,
right.
this is
Right.
this is a kid's show.
I mean-
All ages. We've only sworn a dozen
I
times.
mean,
All right, second on the list is Justin Herbert here.
wait. Let's not.
There's
Are
a
we
still
doing this bet?
Yeah, we're doing this bet.
We'll go back.
Whoever's the
We'll
furthest
circle
off,
back.
whoever's the furthest off on their rankings from
Okay.
right now, has to get their back and chest waxed.
What if there's people that are tied?
Then they both do.
Yeah.
And they both okay.
Oh,
Is that fair? You agree with that?
Oh, that sounds miserable.
This sounds
Well, listen.
awful.
Well, listen. Josh, Aaron and I are both at 3. You're at 4. He's at 1. We're all super fucking close.
yeah, it's not out of the.
So if he
God, I don't wanna
finishes
do this.
7th, if he finishes anything other than 1st or 2nd, it's Anthony.
It is. That's true. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it because
So
he's got to
who's doing
finish
the
first or
waxing? Are we
second.
just going to do it?
Professionally. No, we're going to a place. And we will stream it live, our
It'll be
friends.
live stream. Everyone gets to see Anthony's sweater vest
We're doing
get
it. We're
removed.
doing it. This is such an easy thing for me because I have no back here.
Either do I. It's, I'm
Oh,
patchy.
it's all lower
I'm
back
patchy.
on me. It's all lower back.
Hey, you
Back is
lower
nothing.
back
You see me with my shirt off.
I'm a
The lights are-
centaur from the
lights are
waist
off.
down.
The lights are off. All right. Second up, still Anthony's high. This time I'm low. It's Justin Herbert. You have him 7. I have him 10. We're only 3 places apart. We're only doing top 20 here. It's not going to be huge.
Bro, I have
differences.
9.
Yeah.
His
like
10 is lower than 9.
Yeah.
You're a teacher and you're supposed to
Do
know that.
math.
Oh my!
I'm just saying. I was saying I
Anyway.
have him as 9.
You want to start? Or you want me to start?
I just think he was lights out last year. He is.
Let's look. We have it here. Last.
Keep in
year-
mind, he did miss one game last. He missed the first game
Yeah.
last year
Last
before the
year-
trainers punctured
That's fine.
Tyrod Taylor's spine.
And then let Justin
Exactly.
Herbert
Yes,
play.
All right. Last year he finished QB 9, 31 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 4,336 yards.
on a horrible team.
Outstanding.
I
His
mean,
team
fine.
was not horrible last year.
Oh, so well,
His team
and
was
so
not.
they've gotten better.
Yeah.
I believe they've gotten better.
What makes him
They
go up?
also
What makes him
lost.
go up 2 spots?
They lost. Eckler was gone for what?
You won't even know that because Colby fucking.
He just told you that 5 minutes before the show started.
Yeah.
I didn't
true.
know
Go
that
ahead, go
Eckler was
ahead.
on the team.
You
Go
didn't.
ahead.
You said what kind of name is that? Is he a Jewish man? And we're like, dude, no, you can't say things like that.
The things that come out of his mouth.
Oh.
I should just hit the bullshit button and then I would say, well, that wasn't said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to finish his drink.
He would win.
I respectfully disagree.
No, wait. Yeah, there's not enough in there.
There it
We're
is.
topping them off before
Yeah.
we do this.
So
No, that's all right.
So what
Yeah,
just
put a
happened
little comment
was
there.
Aaron said I made a comment, which I did not. So all I have to do is prove him wrong. Did I make that comment?
You did not make that comment.
Not the Jewish
now you're
comment,
done.
but you did think Cam Akers was a Charger.
No, I did
True.
say. I
True.
said. And I
No,
was
you
thinking.
did.
I was
You
thinking
did.
Rams. I was thinking, and then I said.
Now
I
you have
was
to drink
thinking-
yours.
Yeah, I
You
said
Now
I was
you
thinking
have
I
Rams.
think
Rams.
this is a
Come on,
twofer.
Chin Chin.
I
I
said
think this
this.
come
on.
I
That's the
said
same
this.
drink from
No,
8
no,
o'clock.
no, no.
Folks,
We're
I'm
talking-
ready to do this. I'm just
No,
waiting on
we're
Anthony. Come
talking
on,
about-
L'chaim.
We are talking about what was made, the comment that was made about the Jewish comment.
Aaron lied,
Come on.
and he is drinking
I
for
lied.
it.
He's
Yes.
drinking.
Come
He
on.
did lie.
You, for a brief moment, made the argument that Akers was the starting running back.
For the Chargers.
I said Cam Akers, and then I said, "Oh wait."
Okay.
And then he's like, "He's not on
Anthony,
account." Oh, he's with the
Stop.
Rams.
Stop
That's
talking in
right.
circles,
Yeah,
bro.
But for a brief moment,
Yep.
you made the argument that Cam
I
Akers
said
was
the
the starting
wrong
running back
name.
for Herbert.
And then I brought up Eckler.
Anthony.
All
I mean,
right.
just
Which
stop
I did.
You
fighting
know
us
what?
on
If
Which
he
I
do-
did.
If he's not willing to drink, that's his problem.
Yeah, you're real.
I'm just making
Just
the.
you want to set that precedent. You
No.
want to be the
Hey,
soft
dude,
guy.
if that's the man you want to
If
be.
you want to be the soft guy in the group, you be the soft
He's
guy.
here
in
for the
group.
ball side of it, not the
Yeah.
ball side of it.
not,
All right.
not the burp.
So your argument for Herbert moving up 2 places from last year, second year in the system, obviously, he gets his running backs back,
Yep.
and so you think he's going to do better than proportionally with the extra game, 31
You
touchdowns, 10
normally,
interceptions.
when you have a better run game, you normally have, because when you have a better run game, they bring the safeties up. They bring
Yeah, we
less,
get it. It
less
keeps
coverage,
the defense honest. Like that's
Yeah,
everyone knows.
less
that,
coverage.
Yes. But
Usually have.
You're telling me by week 14, they're still playing that fucking game? They're still like, we'll make Herbert beat us. They didn't catch on to the
someone's
fact that
hitting
he
it,
was.
someone's hitting this button and you're drinking this shit right
No,
now.
here's it. All right. So here's the reason
He's
I'm
not
actually
gonna do
dropping him a spot. And you know what?
I mean, where do you have him?
I have him 10. And
No, he's
honestly,
not. I thought you had him way lower.
honestly, I would be fine. I would actually be okay putting him at 12 or 13. He's going to take a step back for me. First of all, anyone who knows my fantasy research knows that I love Fantasy Pros Mike Tagliere. He's like he's a percentage
your
guy. He's
Analytics.
an
Numbers
analytic.
man.
Thank you.
Numbers man.
He's an analytics
An
guy.
analyst.
I'm an analytics guy. It works well for me. And so he made a point.
Analyst.
He made a point a few months ago about rookie quarterbacks who have like unbelievable seasons. It's like 999 out of 1,000 of them regress the second year. Almost every single one in history regresses the second year. I think the obvious answer there is because you have film on him, you get used to him. I think for the first half of the season, you're doing what you said. You're basically saying, beat me with your rookie.
Yep.
And so that's gone.
Jesus Christ. They're all stuck together.
But also,
Oh.
it's not just film. It's not just generic film that matters. It's film on how to beat somebody. And the more games you play against Justin Herbert, the more you figured out how to beat him. That's exactly how I feel about Josh Allen too.
That's a lot.
The first couple of years, you were beating him. You were beating the Bills by saying, "Beat me with his accuracy," and he couldn't do it. And last year,
You were beating the Bills by just playing the Bills a few years ago.
Yeah, just playing them. Yeah, just showing up with 22 players, and you'll win.
You have, oh my God, being
All right.
Chiefs fans are, God.
Anyway, so I think he's going to regress. I dropped him one
Okay.
place. I
agree.
could have easily dropped
I
him
could
3
see
or
it.
4 places.
I can see it.
You
I agree.
agree with everything that comes out of Vinny's mouth.
All right, here's
Also,
the
the things
biggest.
that go into Vinny's mouth.
Here's the biggest gap on our roster to here, and it's Jalen Hurts. Again, you're the high
Yeah.
man.
Mhm.
You have him 10. Anthony has him 15. Or I'm sorry, Aaron has him 15.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, tell us why Jalen Hurts will not make your top 10. And in
Because-
front of him, for reference,
Because he didn't see him when he
in
was
front
looking
of
down the
him,
list.
you're 11 through 14.
Yeah.
Are Baker Mayfield, Matt Ryan, Ryan Tannehill, Joe Burrow. Do you still
Yeah,
feel like
it's
they're
the-
going to be
it's-
better than
Yeah,
him?
it's the talent that the quarterback has. That's just my philosophy behind it.
So Jalen Hurts has Jalen Reagor. He has the second wide receiver off the board, Devontae Smith. He's got 2 of the
Yeah.
best tight ends in the league, and you're like, fuck those guys.
I'm looking at Joe Burrow.
All right.
I'm all right. I'm looking at Ryan Tannehill.
Who does Joe Burrow have?
The dude Chase Daniel.
Chase
No,
Daniel.
that's not Chase
He's got
Daniels.
Jamar
Chase
Chase.
Daniel.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Chase Daniel.
All right,
T. Higgins.
dude. Stephon Diggs, man. We have to drink every time you say his fucking name. We got to drink every time you say his
I'll
fucking
drink
name.
to that.
First time Anthony's
First
drinking
fucking
tonight.
sip he's
Yeah.
had all night. Yeah. Look how dark this is.
I know.
It's
That's
Coke.
his
That's
first
fucking
fucking
Coke.
drink, dude.
He just keeps topping it off his
I'm
Coke
on
and
my
acting like he's
third.
refilling it.
We have this conversation every time. I'm on my third. Dude's on his first.
In all fairness, he did miss last week and he did drink.
Hey-o.
Okay.
All right.
In all fairness,
No.
in all fairness, this week and the first week I've drinking more than
To
he
be
has in the
fair,
past week.
He drank more than all of us the first week.
I'd like to see a comment. I'd like to see a comment for
Um,
anyone who recognized the "to be fair" reference. Go ahead.
So what was your question again?
Why is Jalen Hurts nowhere near your top 10?
Because he didn't see him on the list 10 minutes before.
Stop
the
it!
show.
You already made that joke and nobody laughed the first
No
time.
one laughed. If you're the only
Shut
one
up and
laughing,
go.
it's not
Come
funny.
on.
Answer the question.
All right.
Answer the question.
I feel like there's too many unknowns, and I told you when I was making this list, my unknowns are going to go further down. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback. I'm not saying the talent's not there. I'm just saying there's too many unknowns for Jalen Hurts.
I'm okay.
That's
with
all.
that.
That's all I'm saying. I feel like Joe Burrow has I feel like Ryan Tannehill, especially now after Julio Jones trade, has what he needs. Matt Ryan has what he needs. Baker Mayfield.
You're saying
has
Matt
what he
Ryan
needs.
has what he needs, but you could argue he lost.
But he got a tight end. You got Pitts in the.
Yeah,
he got Pitts.
You
He got
think,
Pitts.
and you're saying tight end. You're saying Kyle Pitts,
He's got Kyle Pitts,
rookie tight end,
Kyle Ridley. He's
makes
got
up
Mike
for
Davis.
losing Julio Jones.
Mike Davis
Who's
and
Kyle
those
Ridley?
fantastic
First of all,
quads.
did you say Kyle Ridley?
He did say
It's
Kyle.
Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
Love
dude,
child.
Yeah.
I'm drunk right now.
All right.
I'm there. All
That's the whole
right.
point of the show.
Yeah.
So that's why
It
That's-
really is. It's
Everybody
what it
has a role. Everybody
Yeah.
has a role.
Mine is to get drunk on my third drink while Anthony's still
right, well-
nursing his first.
Say bye to
So-
everybody because you're not going to be here next week. After you
Oh,
get grounded when you get home.
stop.
Oh man. Oh.
Stop it. All right.
All right. Enough of Jalen Hurts. Fuck
Jalen,
this
yeah,
guy. I'm
Jalen
tired. I'm not
Hurts.
drafting him now. because
Jalen Hurts,
shit.
for reference, Colby had him at 12. I had him at 13, so we were both in the middle there.
Yeah.
I like Jalen Hurts, and the only reason I have him as high as I do is because of his rushing upside.
Yeah.
I think he
That's
has
mine.
Yeah,
Kyler
Oh, the
Murray.
guy's got legs.
That's
I'm not
100%.
going to say
He's got
Right,
Kyler
he's-
Murray rushing upside. The problem is they have a new system. They
Yeah.
fired their coach last year.
Like I said, there's too many unknowns, right?
Yeah, he's got to learn a
Too many
new
unknowns.
system, a new
I
coach,
still
a
have
new
him- I
offense. He
have
has a
my
rookie
top
wide
20, but-
receiver. Like
Yeah.
there's just and Goddard's holding out. He's probably not going to play for them. So
Yeah.
And Zach
Yeah.
Ertz is probably gone.
Yeah,
Before
so-
training camp.
yeah, so we don't. So
I'm pretty
I
sure someone heckled me saying they had 2 great tight ends.
I did.
And
But
now you're retracting that heckle.
I was spoon feeding you your answer, and you just were not picking it up. I'm sorry, you don't do
I
research. and the
picked
three
it
of us
up.
do.
I told you I shoot from the hip.
Yeah,
I told you
do.
that.
It's working
All right.
well. It's working great for you.
Yeah.
All right,
I just
next
called Vinny
one.
out.
Next one, still Anthony. Anthony, you're on every fucking one of these talking points because your list is stupid.
Someone tell him why.
This time, however, you're the low man. Colby's the high man, and the player is Matt Ryan. Colby,
When you say high and low, I mean, we're off by a couple spots.
we're only
I mean,
dealing with 20 players.
I'm just saying. I mean, you're talking
4
about
out of 20. That's a. That's,
You got him at 14.
I have him at 14.
you
he's
guys
at
are
11.
20% different.
Colby and
on
I
your
have him at
rankings. That's
So
significant.
there's 2 people between them.
Anyway, tell me why.
I'm not going to say sure.
Tell me why. You actually have the same 2 people in between them. This is perfect. Tell me why you have Ryan Tannehill and Joe Burrow above Matt Ryan.
Ryan Tannehill
Stephon
just
Diggs.
got.
We got a drink, guys. We got a drink. We got a drink. Stuff on it.
I mean, he took Julio Jones.
Who did?
You know,
Tannehill.
Tannehill
I asked
took
him, I asked him
someone
why
took him.
Tannehill.
I think Arthur. No, not Arthur.
I mean,
He's in Atlanta.
you-
Arthur Smith sent him.
I think
to
he was
his
given
old
away.
place.
I don't
mean,
think it was
yes,
taken.
you're
Anyway,
replacing Julio Jones with, what'd you call him?
Kyle. No,
Kyle Pitts.
Calvin Pitts.
Calvin Pitts.
No,
I said
that's
Kyle
Ridley.
Pitts.
Yeah,
Kyle Ridley and Calvin
Yeah.
Pitts.
If you're going
You
to
know.
insult me, get that shit right, bro.
I mean, Kyle Pitts is lights out. Probably in the
In
next couple
college,
years,
yeah.
going to be one of the top
He's
tight ends in the league.
insert player.
You know, he is. He's
I disagree.
insert. I
Really?
think he's going to be. And I say in the next 3 years, he'll be one of the top tight ends in the league, by
Nobody
far.
wants to hear that shit.
Yeah.
But at the moment,
We're
you're not.
let's
You're
slurp him
not
like it's
taking.
like it's clam chowder. Or something.
Yeah, at the moment, you're not
Slurps are
taking.
clam
You know, Julio Jones off that team and saying you got better with a rookie tight end. Just
All
doesn't
right.
happen.
Let's
The talent
a quick
is
reference.
there.
A quick
but I
reference. A quick reference. So normally, and I think you're talking normally here because I also had Matt Ryan pretty high. Normally, Matt Ryan is a phenomenal fantasy
Oh,
quarterback
100%.
Oh yeah,
because their
100%.
defense is garbage.
Yeah, and
their
he has to put up points.
Their running game
He's
isn't
gotta be
very
throwing
good.
the rock.
He has to put up
gotta
a
And he
throw
has
the rock.
great,
Yeah.
great wide receivers. Like everything is set up for them to throw the ball 400 fucking times. Like so he's been great.
Mhm.
So not a ton has changed in those areas. They brought in 17 old running backs, none of which are
They
worked very well.
none of which are going to go
the
crazy.
Texans brought on.
Oh, you're right. You're
the
right.
Texans brought on.
Yeah,
they
Oh,
got-
the Falcons brought in a
they-
corpse
Mike-
of
they Mike
Todd
Davis.
Gurley last year and didn't
Brought-
work.
yeah, they
except
brought
for the
Mike
goal
Davis
line.
in,
Yeah, you're right,
who could
you're
be a.
I like Mike Davis.
I do.
Dude, I
think
like
Davis
Mike
is better than-
Davis's
yeah.
quads.
Yeah.
I think he's better than
That's
Todd
all you
Gurley.
like. You like
Yeah, that's it.
you like a small portion
got a
of
poster
Let me
up.
tell you.
He cut the top and the
Yeah.
bottom of the poster off. He just
Let me
has
tell
a
you,
big thigh
on
on
each
it.
side of his monitor.
Chicago-
Working.
Chicago
Chicago
signed him.
Yeah,
Chicago
he's-
signed him,
he's-
and we traded him to Carolina.
Yeah, he
It worked
is.
out
That's a Matt Nagy not knowing how to use players kind of move.
I mean,
and I'm
you're-
going to drink to that.
I mean, what you just said was true. Is you take Mike Davis, and I'm taking him over Todd Gurley right now.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he's a better running back right now than Todd Gurley.
in 2021.
Yeah.
In 2021, he's
I
a better
agree.
running
Yes.
back.
100%.
So you get a
Anthony,
little bit better.
that's our
running-
first thing you've said tonight.
Oh
that
my
has
god,
made
you say
sense.
this every week that you're actually here.
I was not here last week.
Yeah.
I got to say it for the viewers
All
this
right.
week.
So Ryan Tannehill was the guy in the middle, and I was wrong. I thought you both had Joe Burrow, but one of you had Jalen Hurts. So all right. So I started to say where he was. So last year he finished, and last year Matt Ryan was a bag of shit. Is that fair to say? Like the Falcons were.
Oh, they
The
were
Falcons
not.
are a bag of shit. Matt Ryan was.
They
He
were
still put up good
not-
numbers.
He was all right.
He still put up good numbers.
He was QB 12,
Yeah.
Which I would,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's average. I give that all day. Yeah.
QB 1 in most leagues.
Yes.
My point is that was an off year for him.
Oh,
Yes.
and he's
So-
lost
So you went down
because Julio
two
Jones.
positions from there. That's fine. I'm not.
You're taking away
I listen.
one of
where do
the
I have
best
him?
receivers. I mean,
I have him
realistically,
12. I'm in between.
I mean, when you take Julio Jones, even now with the injury stuff that he went through, he's older. He's still what? Top 5 wide receiver?
all right,
At this
Seriously.
point in this game,
Yes.
no.
no, talent-wise,
Talent-wise.
not situation.
No, I'm not talking about
Talent-wise.
just
Yeah.
talent-wise right now. He's probably
he's in that conversation. You know,
I-
he's in that conversation.
Yeah.
Some people might put him 5. Some
I've
people
got him
might
at
put him
top 10.
7.
Top 10.
Colby and see, we're sitting on the right side, bud.
Yeah.
But you could.
Sitting on the
But
right side.
if you actually put what, you know what? We'll do wide receivers next week. Next week we'll do wide receivers.
Next week,
Are we
wide
doing
receivers.
fantasy? Like, what kind?
Yeah, we're doing fantasy.
if he's healthy, he is a top 5 wide receiver.
He's very good. So here's, dude,
Bro.
enough of that. So
No one's telling Anthony enough of his shenanigans.
He's not
He's just not,
slurping.
he's not
you
drinking
know
at
how
all.
loud that is on a microphone?
There
All right.
you go.
And Matt Ryan. So yeah, last year he finished 12. You have him 14. You have him 11. So you actually have him up a space.
Yeah.
Matt
I
I
Ryan.
mean, like you said, he had a down year. He has Hayden Hurst, who's decent tight end. You add Kyle Pitts to it, which I think is going to do nothing but help Hayden Hurst take some of the pressure off him. You have 2 potentially top 15 tight ends, which sounds outlandish to say top 15, but you had that on your team for at the tight end positions. Pretty
I
fucking
think they're
solid.
I think they're both top 15.
And
oh,
then you
look
get-
at that.
And then you get Calvin Ridley is still a number. I mean, he's the number
Colby
one
and I
receiver there
have
last
yeah,
year.
Colby and I have him at 13. You,
See,
you
I
and
think-
Vinny have him at 12.
I think Calvin Ridley is
No, you and me have him at 12.
I mean, this year in fantasy,
Touche.
I
He's
think
going to be a stud. He was
He's
a
gonna
stud
be-
last
he's
year.
a-
He was a wide receiver.
I would be
He was one of the top
shocked.
receivers.
Who,
I would-
Ridley?
yeah.
Oh, he was
I would be
But-
shocked if Calvin Ridley is outside the wide receiver 5.
But that's the thing, though. Is
in
he's got
fantasy
Calvin
this year.
Ridley. He's got a Hayden Hurst who's going to do nothing but benefit from Kyle
Yeah.
Pitts. He's got Kyle Pitts. He upgraded his running back position. There's no way he does worse than he did last year.
But he didn't do bad last year.
And
I
that's
don't
why I
think-
got him going up, and
I'm
you got him
saying,
going
yeah,
down.
like, what- because I'm
What
saying,
are you
I
not?
think-
Are you not?
No,
You have him dropping spots, and I have him going up.
but you're acting like he was horrible last year.
I'm
He
not acting
wasn't.
like he was horrible at all.
Dude,
I'm just saying he had. I said he had an off year. He's going
No,
to
but
get
you
better.
made a statement like
I'm
you thought
sorry.
he was horrible
Some
and he can only go up.
accountability needs to be displayed tonight.
Or you just put him on your list as 11.
I did. I
He
had him
was
going up.
12.
I had him going up.
Like I don't
Better.
think
He has.
I don't know.
going up.
I don't see it. I don't
I'm
see.
sorry.
You cannot take Julio Jones off a team and move someone up.
They did last
You
year.
cannot. And
You basically did last year though.
This
With
is some
Julio
shenanigans.
Jones.
No, he played a good
Play. He was hurt.
4
probably-
games.
He played
He
a
was.
good-
He was less than probably 80%.
Here's what's
most of those
interesting to
games
me
last
about the games that he was missing. So we were talking
He's got
Calvin
to drink
Ridley.
all that nonsense.
We were talking Calvin Ridley, and I
year.
wanted
He'll
to
drink it by
know.
next week.
I'll drink.
I wanted to know, how did Calvin Ridley perform? We just did this the other day.
Oh, we did the receptions.
How did
many
Calvin
he
Ridley
get more
perform
receptions than-
when Julio was in versus Julio was out? Because that's a huge factor, right?
I mean,
Like,
obviously,
is Calvin Ridley garbage when he's going against the number 1 corner, or is it irrelevant? Like, does he get more touches?
I don't think he's
What's your guess?
garbage.
We did
against
the
number
research.
one.
What's the
Yeah,
guess?
we did it.
But again, Julio Jones.
Here's the question. I'm
is
going to ask
that
it very
guy.
clearly.
Yeah.
Do you think he was better, worse, or neutral when Julio Jones was not in the game?
neutral.
I'd say neutral.
He was neutral. That's correct. I
Anthony's
actually,
got a drink.
I would have guessed. I actually would have guessed that he went down.
No,
but he
you,
didn't.
you
He was
can't.
neutral.
No, it's I. Again, knowing what I know, I would say he was neutral.
Oh, what Eric?
That should set the
This
precedent.
fucking guy.
And that should
Knowing
set
what
the
I know.
That-
My bullshit button.
But that's
was,
what I
had
looked
Matt
at.
Ryan going up. He's going to be better. He
Yeah.
upgraded a running back position.
This is
He
like the
upgraded tight
third
end.
time that you maybe should have drank. So I think just
He
good
needs to.
conscious.
Someone
you know why
has to
he's
hold him
not drinking?
accountable.
Yeah, you know why he's
Because
not
of-
drinking? Time out.
because he's not held accountable.
No,
That's
here's why he's not drinking. He has called you out like 4 times this show for getting in trouble, but the reality is his wife called me after our last show and basically was like, "Where the fuck is my husband?" And I was like, it's okay. He babysat one drink the entire show.
Dude, he always
fine.
babysits his fucking
So
drink.
I'm
What the
almost-
fuck is going
I
on?
am
All right,
almost we're chill.
I'm
dude.
gonna
The
bring it
veins
in. I'm gonna
coming
bring
out.
it
The
in. I'm
veins
gonna take accountability, unlike Anthony, and I'm gonna bring it
So
in.
I will make the argument here that he's scared to drink this because he thinks his very kind, very sweet wife, who's probably watching our show right now, you fucking better be watching our show right now, is gonna rip his dick off later.
If that was the case, I would be doing that because that's what I look forward to.
You know what? You know what I say to Anthony's
So-
accountability?
So
There
All right.
it is. There
Give
it
him-
is.
All right, we are
Yeah.
so far over time.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Here's the last
Anthony
segment.
doesn't drink. I do. That's the.
Here's the last segment we're gonna do, and you have 30 seconds to make your argument. This is we each have a player on our top 20 that is not on anyone else's top 20.
I know mine.
So the only thing we're gonna do is say why this quarterback is a
This
top
isn't
20
a quarter.
is a
All right,
top 20
all right.
quarterback. All right,
Okay,
I'm gonna in fantasy.
I'm gonna
this is
reach
fantasy
here.
wise.
I'm gonna reach on mine.
So we will start with Anthony. You have Daniel Jones ranked 20. Why is he a top 20 quarterback?
I think he
Saquon
added
Barkley.
another receiver in the draft, the kid from Florida, who's a burner.
Coney.
Kadarius Toney.
Okay, get it right.
That's the wide receiver that matters. That they
No, I'm
added?
just saying you added a receiver. You have
Who else
Sterling
did they
Shepard.
add?
You have Sterling Shepard on the
And?
other side. Saquon Barkley comes back.
They did Kenny Galladay.
Yeah.
I
That's
wasn't
the
done.
fucking argument.
Yeah.
Yo,
That-
get out of here.
He needs
Right,
to get
right,
rid of
right.
those
Yeah,
I'm telling
yeah.
you
Oh
are
my
adding. You're
God,
adding.
he
you're
is
adding
nurtured
receivers.
here.
You don't
Yes,
even
this
let me
man is
finish.
fucking nurtured.
You
here.
were not gonna say
You're
Kenny
too-
Galladay. Go.
You
go.
get. I'm saying you load up the
I
offense.
drink and this
Go,
guy's
You load
on
up the
number
offense,
one.
and you're bringing back Saquon Barkley. I mean, how does he not look that good? I mean, he's going to look good, and he can run. I mean, whoever didn't watch the game
Oh
last
my
year where he
God,
ran for
I'm
95
gagging on
yards
this
and then
vomit right now. Can
you
you
didn't
fill me
see
up?
where-
Like,
It's gonna be
Literally,
banana. It's
I
gonna be
literally
banana.
only fill you up with banana.
and he'll take it.
You're getting
Yeah.
So
I mean, this dude's not drinking, so yeah, I'll take it. That's it.
he
You worked up over there.
he can
I'm worked
Do
up
your
'cause
breathing exercises.
knowing is holding
Do your
Anthony
breathing
accountable.
exercises.
listen.
respectfully
he-
disagree. You
What are you
dumb piece of
disagreeing
Yeah,
on?
what are you
Everything
disagreeing
you're
on?
saying,
No.
you have not drinking your
No.
drink.
You're
That's,
telling me
That's an illegal button push.
Sterling Shepard,
You had 30
Kenny
seconds to make this
Galladay.
argument.
Yeah, your
Kenny
time
Galladay,
is expired.
Darius
And
Toney,
no one
and
is holding him
Saquon Barkley
accountable.
comes back.
I tried.
That's
I know
that's a
you
good
did, Colby.
offense.
I tried.
Are you kidding me?
It is a good offense. I think Daniel Jones
It
is
is
not talented
sans
enough
Daniel
to be in the
Jones.
NFL, and that's why he's not in my top 20.
Dude, I want him to say Stephon Diggs. so we
How do
can
you
all
feel?
win.
Is Daniel Jones talented enough to be
A
in
top
the NFL?
20?
In the NFL.
If he had Stephon Diggs,
I'll say this.
Oh, we all got a drink. We all got a drink.
I'll say talented enough to be in the NFL, yes. To be a starting quarterback or even
I
like an
think
active
there
day
are
quarterback, no.
No,
I think
I'm
there
with
are
Colby.
30. Okay, I'm talking about a starting. I think
No.
there are 32 quarterbacks that are better than Daniel Jones in the NFL,
I agree.
and for that reason, he
Mitchell
will never
Trubisky's
make my
one of
top 20.
but you're talking about fantasy football, not actual quarterbacks. I mean, there's a
No,
lot of
he's
quarterbacks in the league that
talking
aren't
about
good.
You're right. And that's why it's ridiculous that he is in a great situation and didn't make any of our top 20s. That's how
Yeah,
bad of a
I
quarterback
think he's
he
going to
is.
be. I think he's
You
going
know what?
to be.
Is it fair to
good-
say this?
I mean, at number 20, you're throwing shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks. I mean, I
Kind
get
of.
it.
You're
I
still
get it.
you're
I
still
get it.
top 2/3 of the NFL. Is it fair to say this? If Daniel Jones does not show significant improvement this year, he will not be a starting quarterback.
100. That's what I'm. Trubisky, I thought was a good quarterback,
Oh
and
my
he's
God.
gone.
Now you're just
All
being
right,
a
we're
dick.
not going to
No,
we're not going to Bears talk.
I'm
kidding.
sorry,
think-
dude.
you
We're
think
triggering
Trubisky-
Bears
I'm
fans.
sorry.
You don't
But
think you don't think with the right
go. Just let it go.
collectively,
You don't think with the-
collectively, I'm not listening right now.
So you know.
Collectively, we need to make him drink.
Listen,
I don't
You're
care.
telling
He's been drinking.
me
Since we called him out, he's been drinking.
Colby is
with a
with me.
good-
You're not.
with a good
Since we called
coach,
him out, he's been
with a
drinking.
good coach and a good team, Trubisky's not a starting quarterback.
Trubisky's more talented than Daniel Jones.
100%.
I will agree with that.
And
I will
that's
agree
what I'm
with
saying. If he doesn't do a good job this year. He's not a,
72-year-old
he's not
Chad
a
Henne's
Trubisky.
also.
You
Yes.
play both sides of your arguments so fucking often.
It's
I
All right,
think he-
second on
you
the
know,
list.
I'm going to drink this again just because
Second
this
on the
is
list.
preposterous.
Colby, you are the only person in this room that has Sam Darnold in your top 20.
Oh,
And
I'm
not
drinking
only
on
is
mine.
he top
I know
20,
I'm drinking.
he is 19. Why is he a top 20 quarterback?
He's better than Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, I thought you were
Teddy
gonna say
Bridgewater.
Daniel Jones.
I mean, he's better than Daniel
Valid.
Jones. He's better than Teddy
Valid
Bridgewater,
and-
who was, I
yes.
believe, a top 20 quarterback in fantasy last
Oh,
season.
I will let you know right now. Teddy Bridgewater, 19.
He's
Nailed
better.
Nailed it.
What was Sam Darnold?
Oh, he was obviously garbage.
Well, he missed fucking games and shit last year
30.
too, though. I know football. Not
He
just
had the
fun
COVID.
takes.
Let me
He
see.
had the COVID, and then he had
No, Sam Darnold missed some time
mono.
last year.
It doesn't
But-
say if he missed time.
I can
Anthony's
look
looking at
stats.
papers.
He threw for
He can't
2,000 yards last year. He missed time.
I know he did.
But no, Sam Darnold is, in my opinion, a better talented quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater. He's got good weapons there. He's got CMC. I mean, Robbie Anderson's nothing to laugh
Yeah,
at.
that's
He's got a
those are all-
decent
He has two good
offensive.
wide
Yeah, I
receivers.
mean,
Those
he's,
are all facts.
He's
Oh, no, they lost the other wide receiver to the Redskins. They lost.
yeah, they did. I don't.
But still-
Curtis Samuel
but-
though is like
I
like Curtis Samuel a lot, but I don't
He's
think
still in a better position
Yeah.
in Carolina than he was.
100%. He doesn't have.
100%.
He has.
100%.
And a nice thing
You
with
have a
him,
good
he doesn't
coach.
have
Yeah.
the pressure that you have in New York on his shoulders.
New York.
He was traded for a 6th-round pick, and they're made
He
this
was
mother
set up to
bullshit.
fail in New York.
And
with
he's
that.
got zero pressure on him right now. And he's in the perfect situation for him. If
Right.
he goes there and he fails, it's on him at this point.
Yeah.
He's got a decent offensive line. He's got a fucking
good coach,
top
offensive
2.
minded coach.
He has the best running back in the league, if not top
Yeah.
3 running back in the
And
league.
he bails
So-
everybody out.
So
Yeah.
of the 3 of you that have guys that I don't
I
have
got
here,
Deshaun Watson in there, too. Let's talk about
He's not going to play.
no, we're not gonna that with it. Yeah, so Deshaun Watson is his 20,
He's not
and
playing.
if Deshaun Watson plays a full season, we all have him in our top
Top
10.
5.
top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah, you gotta be top 5.
But
Josh
he's-
Allen's out of there.
I will agree. To
I
him.
think the
Chin
odds.
chin,
I
chin
think
chin,
the odds of
chin
him
chin.
playing this year
If
are
he
less
plays,
than 10%.
top 5.
No, I mean, I agree, but
That's why he's
my
not on the list.
my thought behind my ranking on that
This
is
banana.
The
stuff
risk.
is
disgusting.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
taking
Oh my
banana too.
God.
yeah. My thought is number 20. If I'm drafting a 20th ranked quarterback,
is
he's
almost
my backup.
undrafted. He's
And
almost
it's either
undrafted.
undrafted or he's
Yeah.
my last pick.
He'll
in the
sit on your
draft.
bench all year just
And
in
it's
case anything
like
happens.
Yeah.
if he plays, then I got a top 5
fair.
quarterback. That's why I got him there.
Sam Darnold is one of the most difficult quarterbacks, I think, for me. And it's everything you said. It's New York. He was set up to fail. And this gets lost in all of the issues that gets lost is what I meant.
All right.
Is he is the slowest play calling coach in the NFL, or is right around number 1 in terms of how many offensive plays he calls in a game. So even if you take everything out of the equation, the fantasy is all about opportunity, right?
Mhm.
Whatever position
Yeah.
you're looking at, it's who has the most opportunities. Whether it's a quarterback, it's how much do they have to throw because their defense sucks. If it's a wide receiver, it's how much are they relied on because there are no other targets, right? It's always about opportunity. And Adam Gase as a coach robs you of your opportunity just by the sheer volume.
I will
of his
agree.
play
I will agree to that.
Then on top of that, their number 1 running back and Adam Gase had this big issue with each other. They hated each other. Even when Adam Gase was the coach of the Dolphins, and they were what's his name? Who's the running back?
Tannehill.
No,
Oh,
the
you're talking
running
about
back.
Ajay.
No,
That
the one that went to the Jets and then
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, we were saying, I thought-
So when
You're right,
Le'Veon
we
Bell
changed that.
left the Steelers, they were mapping him to the Dolphins.
I appreciate it.
They were mapping him to the Dolphins, and Adam Gase openly was like, no, I don't want that dude on my team. I don't want players like that anywhere near my locker room. And then he goes to the Jets,
Yeah.
and they already have him on the
Yeah.
So he hates his starting running back. He's the slowest play caller in the NFL. It's of course this dude is set up for
Yes.
failure. He also looks like every bad guy in every high
Russian,
school football
German
movie
movie.
that's ever existed.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Oh, he's set up for failure in every way. So So you have him 19. I don't have him in my top 20. But if he was to finish 15th, it wouldn't surprise me
I
one
would be
bit.
shocked.
Wouldn't
Who is
surprise
that
me
to
one bit.
finish
Sam Darnold.
He's in none of our 50s.
He's
No,
no.
I
He's
know
he's
he's got
only
him
on
in the
his
top
list.
20.
That's why
Yeah.
we're talking about him.
Yeah.
The point is, I'm not willing to put him in my top 20, but would it blow your mind if he made it into the top 20? It would
I don't
not.
I think he can be a
No, it
starting
wouldn't.
quarterback in the league.
No, it wouldn't. He might be
But
super talented.
I know
he has
that
not
without
been given
having
a fair
yeah,
chance.
waste time about it.
All right, so Aaron, this is probably a short conversation. Your 20th is Justin Fields.
I just want attention.
He just
You
want
know
to hear
what?
his name.
I'll give
I
it to
was
you.
not here last week.
Yeah, he's obviously not going to be in the top
He's showing
20
up big this week.
because he
I am.
will not
I
be.
gotta say
yeah.
some shit.
I'm nervous how
But
many weeks he's
unlike
missing after
Anthony,
this.
I'll be held accountable.
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
The two of you
Listen.
need to just kiss and make
No,
up.
listen. Let's get this.
Scissor me
Let's get
timbers,
this
guys.
straight. Though.
Scissor me
Let's get this straight though. We did like this weekend.
Oh,
Me, Aaron,
Guys,
and Vinny
we are 20
went-
minutes
listen,
over
let
this
me just
show
finish it.
already.
Before, so everyone's like, "Oh my God, they hate you." We went golfing
don't
this
hate
week.
each
We went
Oh,
golfing
no,
this
we all love
weekend.
each other.
We
Me,
He's
Aaron,
here for
me,
football, not
me,
this
Aaron,
shitty golf
me,
story.
Aaron, and Vinny.
Colby
went golfing.
decided not to hang out.
Yeah, he decided to stay home.
True story.
We went
Football,
golfing,
baby.
and while we were out golfing, I told Aaron that we need him on the show. He brings a great part of the show, and we do miss him when
Over
he's not here.
drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need the
But
drunk.
we know.
You need that drunk.
You need
But-
the drunkard.
That's like it's like if you take
true.
yeah, it's like if
Thanks, guys. I appreciate everything that y'all are saying.
it's like if you take Danny
So,
DeVito.
we-
out of-
you put a drop of
that was the drunkest thing you've done so far. It's like if you take Danny
Yeah.
DeVito off of Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you need that guy.
you do. You
Just
do.
put him
And,
You're our
Yeah.
Danny
Yeah.
DeVito.
you know, I love
I-
I love
I
this
will-
guy. He's
I will
friggin-
take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I might
Yeah.
be the physically the Danny DeVito of the group.
You know, it hurt my heart a little bit that
Emotionally,
You're
it's
the dentist.
you know.
You're the fucking dentist.
That's an insult. For
It
anyone
did
who
hurt
knows
my
me.
heart a little bit last week.
I'd like
that
to
you weren't on
believe
the
out.
show.
Oh, I was gonna say Mac, but he's gay.
You don't want to be a
No, I
Mac.
don't want to be any of
You're
them.
a
I don't want to
dentist.
be any of
You're a
them.
dentist.
Oh,
All
don't
right.
act like you've never done
All right.
something.
My guy.
Uh,
My guy is Ben Roethlisberger. I actually have him all the way up at 17, so I'm the highest that nobody else has.
No means no.
So Ben Roethlisberger, historically, Jesus,
He's good.
Ben Roethlisberger historically is
Doesn't
like
know
a
definition.
borderline elite fantasy quarterback. For 20 years, it's not like he had a fluke couple of years.
he was probably
He
top
has
15
been
last
dominant.
year.
I know he was
14.
awful.
He was
Yeah.
14.
And
No, he's
last
top
year
15.
was
That's
his
not bad.
like maybe the worst year of his fantasy career.
I would have
So
put
why
him
does-
at 20.
You
I
tell
would've
me
put him
why
at
the
20.
fuck Ben Roethlisberger isn't on anyone's top 20 list when this dude has been amazing for 20 years, and last year he was still top 15 and coming off of elbow surgery. Colby?
David DeCastro retired. They replaced him with Trey Turner, turd. Alejandro Villanueva, gone. I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even know.
Let's be real.
I know. I'm
Dude,
assuming they
dude,
They
signed
lost two
dude,
their
lines.
offensive
I
line
know.
is in shambles.
They
I
lost-
think
In shambles.
Yo,
did
Yeah.
Pouncey? No, the Pouncey. He's still there.
Alejandro
The Charger
Villanueva
Pouncey.
was
One of the
Army
Pouncey
Ranger.
brothers retired.
They
I'm
both
just-
retired.
they both.
Oh,
So then he lost.
No,
his-
no, no. You're
No, I'm pretty sure the Chargers Pouncey retired.
Yeah, you're no. The Steelers pound.
No, then that's three starting offensive linemen gone, and they didn't do anything to upgrade
But
him. They did
Colby-
the opposite of the Chiefs.
But Colby, let's be real. You know, Roethlisberger can run like anybody. He's like
No,
the
he's-
next Lamar Jackson.
not.
He is.
Well, this is
he's
my
being
thing.
sarcastic.
This is my-
Drunk
I
asshole.
get that, but no one holds him accountable.
This is-
I agree.
But Ben
what you're
Roethlisberger,
saying
my
is
Ben
thing.
true.
This is
Roethlisberger
so
does not
BS.
run, but he is elusive.
He's just
huge.
he's not
You
he's
can't
not
take
he's,
him down.
also
he's not
like 50
elusive,
years
but he's
old.
he's very
He's-
tough to take
he's
down.
hard
because
to take
he's
down.
6'6",
He's not
He's
260
also,
pounds.
he's also 50 years old and doesn't.
This
Listen,
is why. This
he's
is
younger than half the quarterbacks on your list.
Let me say, this is why I have him where I have him,
And
which
no
is
one
not in my
holds
top
him
20.
accountable.
Yeah, where is he then?
The offense, he's probably like 21, 22, 23 in that range. He's not far outside the top 20. If I get rid of Deshaun Watson, he doesn't play, he might be number 20. His
Shaw's
offensive
not
line
playing.
is probably bottom 5 or bottom 6 this year. It's going to be terrible. I got a feeling it's going to be bad.
That's a solid argument.
Chase Claypool and
I think
Washington
he's a good
and Juju. That's a decent wide receiver.
It's
core.
decent.
They have 2 good running backs.
Well, they got Najee Harris.
Yeah,
now.
they got
3
a
good running
Najee
backs.
is going to be their starter.
They don't have an offensive line.
Who's
to
their
block for
third?
the
3 good
guy.
running backs.
Nah,
Connor's
jeez.
gone.
Oh, is he gone?
Yeah, James
Gone.
Connor's, I think, in Arizona or some shit.
Yeah,
He went
left.
to Arizona.
He went to
Yeah.
Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh, to replace Kenyon Drake.
Yes.
Who,
Where did he
Yeah, I
go?
was
So
gonna
Najee
say,
Harris is
Oh,
your
no,
Harris
fair.
is like
is
their
your starting.
guy.
Yeah, Najee
Kenyon
Harris.
Drake's
Najee Harris.
not
You don't
there.
take
Yeah,
a
but
running
that's-
back
You
in
got
the first
Damian
round.
Williams.
yeah.
You don't take a running back in the first round and he's not your starter.
So you got a
Well,
rookie
Najee-
running back. You got a fucking
Rookie running back. Running back is like the only position that day one
But
are elite.
let's be real. Najee Harris is a top 10 running
Ah.
back in fantasy.
Wide receivers take a couple years. Tight ends take forever. Quarterbacks take 2 or 3 years. Running backs,
Is Najee
Day
Harris?
one.
I think he's a top 10 running back in fantasy.
Najee Harris will absolutely be rookie of the year.
Ooh.
If not,
Offensive rookie of the year.
and he'll-
100%.
he could easily be a top 5 running back.
He will be
in fantasy.
offensive rookie of the year.
The button, Cole.
You could hit it. You haven't hit it yet.
Oh, God. How are you saying?
No,
how are
he
you
hit it.
arguing?
No,
Yeah,
he
but
hit
he
it.
didn't
Just
accept
How are
it.
you
He didn't
arguing
accept
that?
it. You
I'm
don't
not
think
arguing.
you don't think Najee Harris is like a relevant? The
I
the
think he
Steelers
will
who
do- I-
produce
no,
a
no,
top
no.
running back every year.
I think he will
Last year
do
they
great
did
on the
not
Steelers.
produce a top running back last year.
Last year was the outlier. That's why I think
It's an outlier.
ridiculous. You
Like
don't
my
have him
thing
on
is,
your
it's an
team.
outlier, but I think that's a direction this
Peyton
team's
Manning-
fucking trending. Though.
Okay.
I agree with Cole.
Think about Peyton Manning.
And he tailed off like
Think
he
about Peyton-
knows I do.
Yes.
And then it was
My
career.
point is, think about Peyton Manning his last couple years. Was he winning because he was strong or fast?
He was winning
He
because
won
had the
because
best
of his
defense in the
defense.
NFL.
Yeah.
And the
Like-
Steelers have a top 5 defense.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he's a top 20 fantasy.
My point is,
quarterback,
he
though.
wins on his
I feel
brain,
like you're
and
not
that's where
listening to him.
Roethlisberger is. Roethlisberger is a smart veteran quarterback. He knows what to do. He knows how to do it. And last year, he didn't have a deep ball, and that's what killed him.
But
Like,
I
He's
really
not gonna have a
think
deep
and
ball
that's what
this
killed
year,
him
though.
at 14.
I
We're
don't-
acting like he
not-
wasn't even a top 25 quarterback. He was 14 and he had no deep ball.
I think the offensive
He gets
line
that
is
deep
down.
ball back.
He did have a good
Realistically, my
offensive
20
line, though.
should be
I think the offensive
Roethlisberger.
line
The
is his
offensive
downfall.
line's gonna
Offensive
kill
line
him.
is
I think
fair.
that's
The offensive
I
line
think that's
is
what's
fair.
going to hurt him.
I think the offensive line,
Because I think Najee Harris is better than James Conner.
Oh,
the offensive
I
line
agree
is a
too.
fair argument, but last year he physically could not throw a deep ball. This year, maybe he can't throw a deep ball because he has no offensive line.
I don't think he can.
So let's
physically
call
throw
those
I
things.
it
Let's
and
call
doesn't get
those
it
things
off.
a wash.
You know, I think he
I'm
gets
still saying he goes down 3 spots from last year. You guys are saying
I
he
will-
goes down 6+
I will
Let me
say
ask you a
this.
question. This is something that you believe dear to your heart because we've talked about it so many times.
You know
What
what,
is
Vinny
the
doesn't
best-
believe in?
If you could, honestly,
Offensive
right
line.
now, offensive line is where when you start your team, where do you start? Offensive
Offensive
line.
line.
I think that's what hurts him.
Yeah, fine. I
This
don't
is
think their
my-
Because I
offensive
think they
line is-
upgraded their running back.
I don't think their offensive line is going to be as bad as you guys are acting. It's going to
I think their
and I
running
think
back
a
is better.
veteran quarterback, as seen in Miami last year, as seen a million times on a million teams.
Fitzpatrick is an outlier because everywhere he goes, he has that.
My
He's
point
a game
is,
manager.
my point
He's
is-
got the Fitz
He
magic.
puts the pillow over the starting face's
Say it.
quarterback
Yeah.
the day before the game
Say-
started.
at least
Say
at least he
he has
doesn't
the
puncture
Fitz
his
magic.
lung.
No, this is me with Ben Roethlisberger. I watched a lot of Peyton Manning in Denver, being a Chiefs fan, so he was in the division, and I watched how quickly he physically, like as soon as he physically fell off, it was like
He had neck problems. There's a
And I like.
I got
Roethlisberger.
neck-
he
I think
physically
Can I get
just
a little,
shot
I do.
down.
I do.
And
I
at his
I do
age,
like.
last year he
Roethlisberger.
didn't look that great,
No, I will.
and
That's terrible.
I just
No, I
don't-
do-
I don't.
awful.
I just. Don't
I
see
do
it.
like. I do
This
like.
shit is fucking
It's awful.
awful.
I don't even.
I do like
I
Roethlisberger,
know. I know
but
you. I know you.
That shit's.
I'm gonna.
disgusting.
I'm gonna
That's
agree
it.
with Colby on that.
I will double or nothing
Offensive
our
line.
bet on Ben Roethlisberger. If he is a top 20 quarterback,
Oh God, you can't even say.
Who is he
Well, you
replacing at that point? I'm not
Listen,
gonna lie.
He's on my list.
But I'm saying,
not
I'm
replacing
not.
anyone.
All I'm saying
Not
is,
only is he on my list, he's 17
Listen,
on my list.
listen.
realistically,
I think-
I have him as my number 20.
but
Instead
no.
of Justin Fields.
But I'm just saying.
I
Listen,
appreciate. I appreciate the honesty.
Invisible ink.
You know what?
Appreciate the
I'm gonna be
honesty.
Okay,
Where do you have him?
so
Is he your 21 or you're like?
he's up there. I mean, he could
You
be.
said he's basically your
Do
21.
I
I would
think-
say he could be my 20 because
Do I think he could
I think
be-
we're all saying that. Let's move on.
You're trying to
No.
have a bet that says that he could possibly be
I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go
better
up.
than half the quarterbacks. Of course, he'd be better than half the quarterbacks
Then why the fuck is
because
he on your
I
list?
don't think that I don't think he can. I
It's a
don't
kid
think.
show.
This
You
makes
do.
zero fucking
I wish
sense.
I could
saying.
play
Oh
this
my
back to
God.
you. Just
You
wanna,
know
like,
what?
You're asking who I think right now. This is
Watch,
who.
watch what's gonna
This
happen
is
right
who-
now.
This is who you
Because
think
he
I
won't
could.
do it, but I will.
This is
Oh,
this
God.
is
This is your last drink.
You're
ever.
asking.
We need you to
Oh
get
my
home
God.
good.
Oh
or
my
sleep
God.
on the couch.
Call this
good.
guy an Uber.
Jesus.
Yeah,
You're telling me,
you're
okay,
Uber.
I think that he is,
Pretty fucked
for
up. No one
fantasy,
tells
is
him to
outside the top 20. Could he
He
be
just physically won't.
a top 15 quarterback?
He's a
Of course,
swap.
he's Roethlisberger.
Will
but
he be?
the offensive line is what scares
Okay.
me.
Oh,
So
it
here's
does.
the bet I'm willing to make with you.
That's- why are you making it with me?
That's a-
You're the one having this argument.
You're the one opening your
Yeah,
mouth.
you
you're
are,
still
Anthony.
arguing
This
with
is
that.
I will make this bet.
and no one holds him accountable.
I will make this bet with any of the three of you. Ben Roethlisberger will finish
Top 20?
top
10?
18, and if he does not, I will get my legs waxed. And if he does, whoever takes this bet will get their legs waxed.
Listen, I've drinking a lot tonight because Anthony has refused to. So
Now,
someone
you
else
can
is gonna
put this
have
on
to.
Anthony all you want. Nobody told you to slam banana juice.
Yeah, when no one holds him accountable, I feel like I have
This
to
is an
pick up
this
the
is an
slack.
off-air
Yeah,
conversation.
this is an off-air conversation.
It is. Colby
Anybody?
agrees
Does
with me.
anybody want to take this bet with me? Ben
Right.
Roethlisberger will finish top
He will.
18, and if he does not, loser shaves their legs.
He will.
Listen, I believe.
waxes,
I
gets their legs
believe.
This dude is going to have a
Will
clear
he
chest,
finish
clear
top
legs.
18?
I don't think he will, but
Oh,
he
it's-
could.
You're
I'm
not willing to
so
make
I'm
the
not
bet.
willing to put that
Fuck
on.
Okay.
Have
Are you guys
done-
willing to
I'm-
make the bet? No. Case
Dude, I've
closed.
made too many phone.
Case closed. All right.
'Cause
I'm
that's all
sorry.
I'm gonna look
We
at.
really
You guys
went.
can look.
We went off the rails
We
in the
did.
end there, and I
We
apologize
did.
for that.
And
If-
this is why I won't, because the last top 20, there's like 3 points separating like 7.
Where did
Yeah.
he finish? Time out. Where did he finish last year?
14.
Finished 14th last year.
That's why I think it's ridiculous that you guys don't think he's going to finish top 20.
Mine's
He
all
also had a
offensive.
great offensive line last year.
Okay.
He had a very.
That's
that was
fine.
very-
I think that's less relevant for
Pretty
someone
fucked up.
like.
No one holds Anthony.
I think that's
accountable,
less
whatever.
relevant.
I'll be
You
the
and your
drunk one.
accountability, dude. If I hear you
You need a
say
week off.
you have said accountability way more than
Then
he
he
has
has
said.
to
You
stop
can't
on
even-
dates.
Yeah.
You
Next-
can't
next
spell
week.
accountability.
Next week, we're all going to drink every time he says accountability.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, the two
Well-
of you just kiss and make up. Anyway,
I'm not kissing him.
thank you guys for watching. I'm
I'll pass
sorry
it
we
It would be
came.
the best day of your life.
I'm sorry we came off the rails at
I
the
hear
end.
it's lackluster.
I'm gonna rein these clowns in for episode 4. Hope you guys
Oh
enjoyed the
my
show.
God.
If there's anything that we haven't covered that you guys want to start seeing, hit us up in the comments.
Yep,
hit us
take-
up on Instagram
take
at
notes,
Whiskey
y'all.
with Friends. And we love you guys. See you soon.
Take it easy, guys.
Aaron, you
Peace
got
out.
to
End stream there.
End stream. Where is it?
The bottom. bottom right.
Bottom
Bottom
right. End
Bottom.
stream.
Bottom right.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
Okay.
Boom.
disaster.
End stream.